right. It's time. Oh, man. As usual, my hair looks terrible. Okay, so what are we doing? What are we doing? I've got a song that we recorded a whole bunch of musical parts to in the previous week, and I'm going to show you the final result of that. I'm just checking a few things here. Looks like I've got a bad title on this. I'm gonna change the title of my stream real quick. God Killer Game Dev Sunday. All box him is done. Okay, update that. All right, and okay, so I will play the song in a moment. I'm also going to put a few finishing touches on it right now, and give you an idea of the pieces that go into the song. So we had 3 people give me recordings of this based on this guide melody I put out in the stream last week. And I was pretty lucky. The 3 people that helped me out, Zendaris, Mauve Butterfly, Average Mo, had some combination of talent and grit that really produced some really nice vocals. So I say grit meaning I know it wasn't easy to record that, particularly because the guide melody that I gave you had me singing in it, and I was off in a number of places. Zendaris pointed out it would have been much easier to record if there was something to sing against which didn't have me singing but just had the melody. Yeah, that would have been, in hindsight, a good way to do it. And then also, there were some troubles, like if you're watching the stream on Twitch and you're trying to sync up to it, well, it'll drop an ad like right in the middle of the song. So Mauve had that issue there, but still the results were really good from what I got. And I was particularly inspired by the low octave recording I got from Mauve. Am I even saying the color mauve right? I think I am. We'll see. So let me go to Audition where this is being edited. All right. And I was right in the middle of tightening up Zendaris's. So, actually, why am I putting headphones on? I'm going to play it. I'm going to annoy Elizabeth, who's nearby. She'll have to listen to me edit for a little bit. So the thing I was doing, I've got 4 tracks from Zendaris. It was a nice bit of foresight on his part to send me not just 1 recording, but 4. I didn't want to be greedy and ask people to send multiples, but it is very useful to have multiples because I'm trying to go for a big choir sound, and each extra part makes it closer to that. So Zendaris sent me 4, and they were pretty on, but it's really hard to get them all sounding like you're singing together in the same room, and that's what this extra bit of editing is. So what I've been doing is taking the guide melody, which here's what it sounds like. Pretty simple. So I've been taking that and I've been lining up the syllables of the vocals so that they match up very closely to the guide melody. So right now I've got everything muted except for the tracks that I'm working on. And I'm going to go through this last one. If this part is really boring to somebody, but you just want to hear the finished result, I would say take a look at the screen, see how there's there's all this stuff here with the blocks and the waves. You can kind of scan through the video and you can see if I'm still fiddling around with these. And if I'm not fiddling around with it, then that's me done editing. So it might be like 5-10 minutes more of editing. All right.
Blocks lead.
Okay, so I need to get this. So at this point, it's more of a visual task. So I know this is going to be all, and this is going to be blocks, and I know that's the second note. So I can just kind of see how they line up. And I can move this guy here.
Blocks.
See, so I'm just doing that.
Lead.
So I want to do to line up with the next note. Do a little fade on the ends of those so it sounds smooth. You can see these three up here, they're already pretty well lined up. Those are the other three tracks from Zendaris. And if you actually, so if Zendaris is listening to this, this might be particularly painful to listen to yourself sing in this sort of slow, painstaking way. My apologies. Okay, so the thing that I got from, I'm just going to call him MB. It's just easier for me to say than Mauve. MB was an opportunity to have MB do the solos, do the choruses as a solo, and then you can hear the lyrics a lot more easily. And you'll see that MB did something kind of unique with his performance that lends itself to comedy. I wanted to take advantage of that. So on this syncing up, because I'm using MB on the chorus, I only got to sync up the verses here. There's 4 of them. I'm 25% of the way through. Well, almost 25. I'll talk less and I'll get through it faster.
We push them. We push them. All. And then they.
So I've already listened to this before I did this extra bit of tweaking on it, and it still sounded good. So this is really a refinement to what was already making me pretty happy. I just want the verse to sound a little more crisp. Not because I'm going for a very polished feel on it, but because there's a chance that without any subtitles or anything like that, that the person can listen to the verse and actually hear the words well enough to understand what's being sung. So that's the end goal of all this tightening up here. And I think that's achievable. I'm a fan of in games where if you can turn off subtitles and still just kind of hear what's going on without anything further, I like that.
All blocks we do push north.
Okay, so this is the chorus. I can skip over the chorus. I'll play it though, because then you'll get a chance to hear Zindaris' chorus.
Some say there's no reason to do this. Let God just waste all our time. But if we stop to question him, we'd fall so far behind.
Okay, that's the end of the chorus, the first one. Okay, now we gotta do east.
Blocks we do.
Did I just move something? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Push
Making it crisp.
east. We all push the blocks.
So if you're considering a career in audio engineering, this is the kind of stuff you have to do a lot of, and it can drive you crazy if that's like your whole life, unless you really love it.
East.
And also, you don't get paid much. There's lots of interning opportunities available for you. Free, unpaid internships.
We push them all.
If I sound like I'm bitter about it, I'm not. I didn't actually go down that path. Other people have.
And then they fall. All blocks we do push east.
All right. That's the halfway mark. Let's hear the second chorus.
Some say the blocks go nowhere. Some say they all come right back here. But as long as God has blocks for us, our future is secure.
Okay. Verse 3.
All blocks. Blocks we do.
It also occurred to me when I was listening to everyone's recordings in depth. I don't think video plays audio at an even rate on Twitch. I mean, I think there's small little discrepancies or little anomalies in the timing that make it go a little faster or slower. So it's inevitable that I'm going to be editing like this if I use video for the guide. The choruses, they were much more difficult for people to sing than the verses because of like all those syllables kind of thrown in there very rapidly. Some of them definitely feel extra, not aligned with the melody, and that leads to ambiguities in how each person could sing it. And you sang it different ways. And I don't blame you. If you're following me, it wouldn't have given you much guidance.
We all push block.
But the end result is that the verses were pretty close, but the choruses, they were off quite a bit. I mean, I was looking for something in between grade school choir and like 1950s Disney movie choir. And I think on the verses I got there to that point, but not the chorus. And that's nobody's fault. I mean, it's like amazing. I got the results I did on this. And I really appreciate the efforts people went to try to get things right. Yeah, I would guess that some of you have like got a musical background of sorts, like school choir, stuff like that. There's some talent there.
We push them.
Oops.
Them. All. And then they
I never like to break up the F. The fall is right there. Oh, that's okay. I gotta shorten it, not lengthen. Okay.
they fall.
That's fine.
All blocks we do put. Push. South.
Okay. That is the south or third verse. Let's hear the third chorus.
Some say pushing blocks is boring.
So that line there, that gave people lots of trouble. Some say pushing blocks is boring, or some people go, some say pushing blocks is boring. So it's got that extra beat in there, and you gotta do something with it. That's kind of the ambiguity I'm talking about. Oh yeah, okay.
And possibly they could be right, but each push only brings us joy, or at least we think it might.
Okay, getting to the end. Then we will hear it.
All blocks we do push.
Chop this at the dip.
Fast. push blocks to west. We put we push them. We push them.
Okay, this is kind of a nice combination of visual and audio. Once you get in the flow, it's not bad. It's not a bad way to pass the time. See, here's the place where I don't want to lengthen in the middle of the F because it's like a fall. You always do a f, like well before the actual main part of it, so I never lengthen there, or I try not to. Okay.
We do push west.
That's it. Okay, one more there. And just save that. This is one multi-track project I made just for Zendaris' vocals. And there's a hierarchy of these multi-track projects, so I'm gonna save like save a mix down of just his vocals, and then we'll go over to the master project. Okay. Now I want to set the amplitude on this more specifically. Okay, and oh, I better go back. Okay, this is only going to do one track, so I got to redo it. Okay, back to this project, unmute a few things.
Push north.
Okay. No, I still got the melody on. Turn off the melody, turn off the melody. Okay, so this should be just vocals.
We all push.
Okay, save that. Export that. Multi-track mix down, entire session. Okay. So we're going to overwrite the file that was already there. No, okay, cancel file. Let's see. Close that. Okay, and let's fix limiter. Set my maximum amplitude to -3 decibels. Let's resave that. Okay, so now let's close all that and open the main project. Okay, so do I have the new one? Let me just double check that. Okay, so before I play the whole thing all at once, I also want to give you a taste of what the other vocalist parts sound like. So let's dig down into Mauve's MBs. So here's MB by himself.
All blocks we do push north. We all push blocks to north. We push that.
Okay, so MB gave me 4 parts. He gave me 2 in a lower octave, which was really cool. So it sounds like even more people are singing, and that lower octave part was kind of funny, and I made it the solo for the choruses.
All blocks we do push north. We all push blocks to north.
Okay. And also, both Sindaris and MB sent me the upbeat version of this, which is going at 80 beats per minute. You're hearing the what I call the dreary version. It's at 60 beats per minute. So just to give you an idea, let's take a look at what the upbeat sounds like.
All blocks we do push north. We all push blocks to north. We push them all, and then they fall. All blocks we do push north. Some say there's a reason to do.
Alright, so that's the upbeat. But when I was listening to MB on the lower octave, it sounded so good in my mind for dreary, and to have him do the solo for the chorus so that everyone could hear the lyrics well, that I gave up on the upbeat one. I just said I want to do dreary. So here's what I was listening to.
All blocks we do push north. We all push blocks to north. We push them all, and then they fall. All blocks we do push north.
So that beginning of that first verse there, that might be the only part where he kind of slipped and was off the note. All the rest of it was this, like, it just sounded like he was right at the bottom of his range, which was awesome, but still hearing the notes. And that discomfort that you can hear in the voice from being so low right at the bottom of the range, to me, produces something comedic. So I really wanted to use that. Now let me give you an example of this other gift I got from Mo, or Average Mo, as he goes by on a forum. I don't know what his real name is offhand, but let's call him Mo.
All blocks we do push north. We all push blocks due north. We push them all, and then they fall. All blocks we do push north.
Okay, so I got just one part from Mo. Actually got two versions. I got upbeat and dreary at the two tempos. But I got just one. But it worked out because what I want to use Mo for in this is kind of a highlight. So his voice sounds a little bit silly. I apologize too if this is, you weren't trying to sound silly and you were trying to sound really good, Mo, but there's something just a little bit corny about your voice when you're singing. I just got to tell you. It's perfect for my purposes. I hope I'm not exploiting you, but or making fun of you. But it sounds like really good to me, adding comedy. It also kind of sounds right to just have one track. This is why I say it works out, because it's that voice that doesn't blend in with the rest of the choir, but kind of tells you that it is like a group of individuals singing, and they're not necessarily well organized. It's not like the 1950s Disney choir. So it just worked out great for me to use this recording from Mo. At least I'm really happy with the results. So now let's go back to the main song and you get to hear it all together. Cancel. What do you want to save? Okay, good. So the other thing I did is I swapped out the piano song, which was more in line with an upbeat version, and put in complete dreary church organ stuff. So we'll hear what that sounds like. I'm going to, just in case somebody was like kind of scanning through the video to try to get past all the editing stuff, I'm going to like put like a little flag up for a moment. Meaning, like, if you were scanning through it and you didn't want to see all the editing stuff, you'll see me talking here for a little bit, just a little bit maybe, and then you'll say, okay, this is maybe where Eric's done with all the editing stuff, which is really boring to me. Okay, so then we're going to go on to listening to the song.
All blocks we do push north.
All blocks
We all push blocks.
And something screwed up. Something is screwed up, and I have to fix it. It would be Zendaris' lyrics, I believe. So when I replaced that WAV file, I thought the positioning would be exactly as it was before, but it was not. So to whoever I tried to just give a signal to that I was done editing, sorry. There's more editing to do here. Not a lot. This won't take long. This will not take long. If you join me trying to be done with the editing and just listen to the final result, just bear with me. This is probably going to take maybe like 3 more minutes or something like that. So let's see. Mainly just got to get these synced up. Yeah, I could just eyeball this pretty well. Okay, this has to keep going. Okay, that's the end of the first chorus. Put this on solo so I can just hear this one part.
We fall so far.
Okay, so that's the end of Zendaris singing the first chorus. So back that up. Okay, there we go. Take this, sync that up with the other 2 parts. Okay. This is the second verse here. There, second verse done. See, this won't take long. Okay, now you can expect that this is the last bit of the chorus, and this is probably going to be the start of the third verse.
All blocks we
It is. Let's get it synced. I don't know, just looking at these waveforms, it looks like I still got some syncing to do on the other ones. Not that I'll do it now. But you know, you can see how it's not quite lined up here. But that's okay. I didn't touch the other two that much. So I just started with Sindaris's. Okay, so let's. Okay, just a little bit further. All right, is that the start?
all blocks
Yep. Okay, so this should be west. Is that right?
do push west.
Yep. Okay, unsolo that. All right, let's try this again. Let's try it again. Turn the volume up a bit. No, start from the beginning.
On blocks we do push north. We all push blocks to north. We push them all and then they fall. On blocks we do push north.
Some say there's no reason to do this, that God just wastes all our time. But if we stop to question Him, we'd fall so far behind.
All blocks we do push east. We all push blocks due east. We push them all and then they fall. All blocks we do push east.
Some say the blocks go nowhere. Some say they all come right back here. But as long as God has blocks for us, our future is secure.
All blocks we do push south. We all push blocks due south. We push them all and then they fall. All blocks we do push south.
Some say pushing blocks is boring, and possibly they could be right. But each push only brings us joy, or at least we think it might.
All blocks we do push west. We all push blocks to west. We push them all and then they fall. All blocks we do push west.
Some say this song is too long, tedious, dull, and grim. But God wants us to sing and work so for that you can thank Him.
That's it. Just as a bonus, call it the B-side. I'll put the piano part back in. You can hear what it sounds like with the piano.
On blocks we do push north. We all push blocks to north. We push them all and then they fall. All blocks we do push north.
there's no reason to do this, that God just wastes all our time. But if we stop to question him, we'd fall so far behind.
All blocks we do push east. We all push blocks due east. We push them all, and then they fall. All blocks we do push east.
Some say the blocks go nowhere. Some say they all come right back here. But as long as God has blocks for us, our future is secure.
All blocks we do push south. We all push blocks due south. We push them all, and then they fall. All blocks we do push south.
Some say pushing blocks is boring, and possibly they could be right. But each push only brings us joy, or at least we think it might.
All blocks we do push west. We all push blocks due west. We push them all, and then they fall. All blocks we do push west.
Some say this song is too long, tedious, dull, and grim. But God wants us to sing and work, so for that you can thank him.
So the piano version is catchier to me, but for what I want to happen in the game is the people singing their song is supposed to be kind of sad and pathetic, and I think the organ works better for that. So I think that's the version I'm sticking with. I think I will try to tighten up the verses a little bit more, but I can, maybe it's just because I've heard it 5 million times, but I can recognize the words in the verse pretty well now. So that's encouraging. MB just cracks me up. That some say pushing blocks is boring. Yeah, that was just unexpectedly great. So thanks a lot for that. I think I'll keep the stream going, and I'll just go back into work mode, and like I said, I'm going to try to tighten up the syllables. If anyone happens to be on and wants to chat, feel free to interrupt me and say hi. If anybody's like wondering what else is going to be in this video and deciding whether or not they want to keep watching or not, me editing some tracks inside of Adobe Audition, and if that sounds boring, don't watch it. I don't want you to watch it if you're going to be bored. Alright. Save that. So, finish Sindaris. I think I'll do Average Mo next. Same deal as before. All I gotta do is 4 verses, and Mo is gonna be fast because he just sent 1 part. So let's mute the song. What was this track down here? I think I was comparing it to something else. Yeah, it's Sindaris down beneath. I'll take out that. All right. that's the good thing about using notes instead of somebody else's voice. It's just really much less ambiguous where a note begins and ends. Like, I mean, using notes, I mean like instruments as opposed to vocals. So it's much easier to figure out the timing to sync to using this melody track here. Hey, Zendaris. So, yeah, you might want to catch the video later. I went and edited your audio in depth, and quite a few comments about that. In general, very appreciative. So I don't know. You got so deep into recording the vocals, you might enjoy hearing my analysis of them. Or not. It could just be boring shit. So, whatever. But right now, I'm tightening up some of the other vocals. I already went through and tightened up yours a little bit, just aligning the syllables so they match up with the notes. And then if you want, just ask me to. I'll play the other song, the main song too. I can switch away from this if you want. Or if you want to look at anything that I'm doing, just let me know.
We all push blocks to push blocks to north. We push
So I'm getting them on the melody so they're super crisp.
them all.
Like we're all in the same room, listening to each other sing.
They fall. All blocks we do.
Most things a little bit staccato here. You just got this real punctuated way. So like his vocals are quite easy to see the start and end of.
North.
If he was more sustained, it would be harder. I'm fine with easy. And quite charmed by most performance, which is
Some say there's
kind of silly. Okay, I can skip over the chorus because I have somebody else soloing the chorus.
but if we stop
Oh, I should let it play though.
to question him, we fall so far behind.
Okay. Second verse. You can kind of visually see without playing it what needs to line up.
All blocks we do push east. We all push blocks do. Do east. We push them
Gonna seriously have this song stuck in my head for about 5 weeks.
and then they fall. All blocks we do push
Okay, I skip over this part for editing. This is the second chorus.
Some say the blocks go nowhere. Some say they all come right back here. But as long as God has blocks for us, our future is secure.
Okay. Past the halfway mark.
All blocks we do push south. We all push blocks due south. We push them all, and then they fall. All blocks we do push south. Some
Okay. Third verse, which I can skip editing. I will play it.
Some say pushing blocks is boring, and possibly they could be right. But each push only brings us joy, or at least we think it might. All blocks we do push west. All blocks we do push west. We all push blocks blocks do west. We push them all, and then they fall. All blocks we do push west.
Okay, that's the last one for Mo. Okay.
Some say the song is
You know, anybody listening to this is going to hear this so many times. I will try to go easy on them. Okay, mute that, mute the melody, save this project, which is just Mo's vocals. Okay, export to overwrite the other file, which will be used in the main project. Okay, take a look at that. This was on the quiet side, so let's normalize it higher. Set it to 0. Okay, I basically compressed the audio so that the lows and the highs are all a little bit closer together. Okay, save that. Okay, so then got that in order. So I'll go do the last one, which is MB. MB. Don't do the solo, just do the verses. Okay. So I put each vocalist's lyrics in one project. MB's got 4 parts. Let's see, MB. This is the melody. Okay. Put the melody up here. Unmute that. Okay. Mute. Okay. So da. All right. And
all blocks we do. Push north. We all push. Push blocks. Due north.
MB had a really clean recording environment. This makes me wonder if he does some projects of audio nature.
Push them all. We push them all. Them all, and then they fall. All. All blocks we do. Do push. North. Some say that reason to do that. Some say there's no
Oh yeah, I can skip that. Skip the chorus.
mind. All blocks. To push east. We all push blocks.
See how that sounds.
Push blocks to
Cut off the D.
east.
Nah, that's fine.
To east. We push them all, and then they fall. Fall.
lengthening in front of an F. So let's take that one.
Then they fall. Blocks we push east.
I get to skip the chorus.
Some say the block. Blocks.
There it is.
Blocks we do. To push. To push south. South. We all push block. Blocks to south. Blocks to south. South. Push that. Push that ball. And then they fall. Blocks. Blocks we do push south.
Okay, skip the chorus. There it is.
Blocks we do push west. blocks do well. We push them all, and then they
Oh. Put that back.
fall. Blocks we do push west.
Alright, so that's one track. On to the next. Sounds a little off.
All blocks
Okay.
we do push north. We all push. Blocks. Do north. All and then all and then they
Oh, that's tough. It's the nice thing about Moe's is very easy to see where everything is. But MB is like sustaining his notes a while and they blend into each other, which makes it sound great, but it's tougher to edit.
all and then they fall.
Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't ask for him to sing it different. It's awesome. But tougher to edit.
Blocks we do
Music time it is, music time. Hey, Omega Number. It's time for painstaking editing of vocals that go into a song. Probably about 20 minutes away from having this little bit done. So there's a bunch of vocal parts that were sung quite well by some volunteers last week. And I want them to all sound like, even though they're coming from different places on the internet, like they all sing together in the same room. And to do that, it takes a little bit of editing to make all the syllables align right. Jay Dyer, awesome. Is your connection doing better this time? Okay. 2 down, 2 to go. That's the East verse. Okay, so mute that one, unmute the next track, bring the melody track down so it's right next to it so I can visually line up notes better. And it's the same person, but MB singing higher now.
All blocks we do push north.
I just love that low octave thing. It was just that sounded really cool to me. Let's see.
Blocks do. Push them all, and then they fall.
Yeah. So nice thing is I already took a first crack at these. So they're, and this was right when I started thinking, maybe I want to get the syllables lined up better. So these will probably not have as much work.
All blocks be.
Oh, need that S.
Blocks we do push.
Okay, I can skip over the choruses because I have a different solo part for that, which doesn't need this editing. Alright, this should be the start. It is.
Blocks we do push east. We all push. Push.
Just trying to get those
Blocks.
syllables. Line them up. Line them up.
To east. We push them all. And then they fall.
Alright, this one's tricky right here.
And then they fall.
How to stretch that one out? Let's try this.
And then they fall.
See if that works.
And then they fall. All blocks. Blocks we do push. East.
Skip over chorus.
Is secure. All blocks we do push. Push south. We all
That might sound bad. Let's see.
all
Nope, it's fine.
push south.
Okay, one more verse on this part. Skip over the chorus.
All blocks we
If anyone is thinking, boy, this is a really repetitive song, that's kind of the whole point of the song. It's supposed to drive you a little bit crazy because it drives the main character crazy.
all blocks we
'Cause if there were a bunch of people and all they did was sing the song all the time, and that was the only thing going on,
blocks we do.
you'd want to get the hell out of there.
To push west. We all push blocks. Due west. We put them all. And then they
See how the F did?
fall.
That's fine.
All blocks we do push west.
Okay. Last part. And then I can go back to the main song and update the tracks to use the new crisper verses. I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll sound great. It already sounded pretty good before. I think it'll sound extra good after this.
All blocks we do push. Blocks we do push north. We all push blocks push north. North. Question him, we'd fall so far behind. All blocks. Push. East. Wheel. Blocks to east. We push them all and then all and then and then they
Oh man, I don't want you to type with your mouth full of food. It just make a big mess.
all blocks we to push. Push east.
Yep, just syncing all the syllables to the notes. They were already pretty close to start, but you get some extra crispness if you get them just dead on, you know. And the main reason for me to do it is not so it sounds better, because I'm not aiming for a real polished sound. I would just like it if it's very easy to hear the lyrics and understand them for the verses.
Go nowhere.
And this is the last little bit of that effort. Oh, I can skip the choruses.
What is law? All blocks we
Okay. Yeah. If you can if you can stand another maybe 2 to 5 minutes of this, I will put it in the completed project and you can hear it. And I'm looking forward to how it improves the sound.
all blocks we
Okay, let's get that synced. Get it synced.
all blocks sweet. Push.
I understand. I understand. Don't blame anyone for not wanting to listen to editing. Now, you might have been in extra pain listening to me edit your tracks, or you might have that in front of you if you listen to the beginning. Have you done any audio editing before? Yeah. Like what kind of stuff? I'm just curious. Sure. Let's see.
We all push blocks.
Wait, what is that? I know Aperture Science Labs portal. What's Blockerture Science Labs? Is that a hold?
We all push blocks to.
Okay, I might have to play that one of these days.
We all push blocks to side.
Okay. Interesting. I'm a little bit behind the times, I guess. I didn't know you could do that much with scripting custom elements. See if I'm, oops, go back, okay. See if this is still on track.
Push that ball, and then they. All blocks we do. We do. Some say.
Okay, skip over the chorus. Let's see. Skip.
Make it might. All blocks we.
Alright, what's this one?
All blocks we do push.
Last one. Sounds like you are pushing the limits of the engine.
Push back.
But I'm amazed at what can be done with that scripting engine. But I'm also kind of amazed, like, at some point, like, Mike didn't just say, let's yank this out and replace it with Luau or something that's just a fully formed language. I mean, it is kind of amazing to go into that editor and see this thing with so many features in it. Like, I wonder if Mike knew at the beginning, like, how many things he was going to add to it before it was over, if he would have kept it inside of the same kind of framework like that, where you like click a button to add a command, and then there's like a UI to add in every little parameter. And I think I would have, if I had that knowledge, I would have just made some kind of free text based thing with a binding to the engine, Luau or something. Yeah, machine code, yeah.
We push them all, and then they fall. Blocks. Push.
West.
West.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, that menu-based coding thing, I think it was exactly right for maybe the initial set of features that was there. And it was kind of cool to be menu-based like that, and then just like there's so much stuff that got put in. I mean, but it works. I mean, it's done its job. If you can go and like make custom blocks in it, custom game elements. We made a lot of complicated scripts controlling the dialogue, and you can code most of the neither rooms with it. Yeah, so it's good. Let me export this. We'll save it, and export. Oh, I gotta set the tracks up so that okay, mute the melody, and then the rest will export into the mix, and this mix will be one WAV file that has all of MB's parts in it. Yep. It takes a while to get used to. Basically, you're learning like what your actual voice sounds like, because it doesn't. Well, I mean, it is subjective, but the recording is truer than the sound you hear in your own head when you speak, in terms of what other people hear, which is kind of the terrifying part of it, because you really are hearing what other people hear. Same thing for looking at a video of yourself. It's more accurate than what you see in a mirror. Yeah. Well, something like what you just said. Picks up those lower tones, or like if there was an equalizer, the bass would be pumped up a lot more when you hear it through your own ears. Okay, So MB60 mixdown. Let's normalize this a tiny bit. Save that. Go back to the main song. Okay. Now probably it unsynced these tracks a little bit, but it should be really, really easy to get them back synchronized. Okay. So this is better. I'm just visually, I can see that when this plays, it's gonna be crisp or crisper. Okay. Yeah, exactly. You see yourself with video, and that's how everybody else sees you. There's also a thing like you look at yourself in the mirror all the time, and you're doing things mentally to kind of adjust that image so that it doesn't bother you. And then you look at yourself at some angle that you're not used to looking through, and it's a whole different story. All your little filters and corrections that you make when you look at yourself in the mirror are gone. This looks out of sync. Let me check this. Oh, maybe it was here. Wait a minute. Is there music in the mix down? Dang it. Oh, you heard the train. Yeah, I get some trains. Okay, so let's go back. I must have messed up something there in the export. Save that. Okay, so you need to be muted. And let's just get a little taste of this.
There's no reason to do that.
Man, that's synced.
Some say they.
Okay, close that. Okay. What? Okay, so that needs to be. Back to the beginning. put everything in offline mode? Where's the thing? It's like link media. That's the one. Okay. MB60 Mixdown. Bring them back online. Okay, there's one. There's Zendaris. Vocals Zendaris 60. I don't know why it wouldn't just look in the same directory that everything else is and just relink automatically. I don't know why. Okay. Are you back? Oh, I got solo on, that's why it's grading. Okay. And then let's take solo off. Okay, that was it. That was all. Okay. So now
All blocks.
that's fine. Make sure I got the latest average mo. Okay, resync that. Just about ready to play this thing. Okay, that's looking good. Yeah, I'm glad I relinked that. It had the old version of the Mo in there without the editing. Now it's all just lined up. Just all like beautiful columns. Let's see, this must need to extend out here to get the full verse. See that? Beautiful, beautiful synced up audio. Okay, and there's the chorus. Which I've got. Don't be mad, Zendaris, but I got just one track from Mauve on the chorus, because it just was a lot clearer, and he's got like a funny way that he sang it, which I like. But everybody's on the verse. Okay, so let's see. This is probably messed up right here.
All blocks.
Yeah. Alright, let's get that synced. Get that synced. Okay, sync. Okay.
All blocks.
Save that. Okay, gonna play it. Gonna play it for real. And mix it down. Okay, here it comes.
All blocks we do push north. We all push blocks to north. We push them all and then they fall. All blocks we do push north.
Some say there's no reason to do this, that God just wastes all our time. But if we stop to question Him, we'd fall so far behind.
All blocks we do push east. We all push blocks due east. We push them all and then they fall. All blocks we do push east.
Some say the blocks go nowhere. Some say they all come right back.
I know why it sounds so bad. I left something on. Sorry. Let's do this again. Just gotta turn off the piano. I had the piano and the organ going. So there's two versions of the song I made. One with the piano, which is the earlier one you sang to, and then there's the organ one, which is more appropriate to the game, where I want to put it in. So let's mix that again. I was like, I didn't remember it sounding that bad. This will sound better.
All blocks we do push north. We all push blocks to north. We push them all and then they fall. All blocks we do push north.
Some say there's no reason to do this, that God just wastes all our time. But if we stop to question Him, we'd fall so far behind.
All blocks we do push east. We all push blocks due east. We push them all and then they fall. All blocks we do push east.
Some say the blocks go nowhere. Some say they all come right back here. But as long as God has blocks for us, our future is secure.
All blocks we do push south. We all push blocks due south. We push them all and then they fall. All blocks we do push south.
Some say pushing blocks is boring, and possibly they could be right. But each push only brings us joy, or at least we think it might.
All blocks we do push west. We all push blocks due west. We push them all and then they fall. All blocks we do push west.
Some say this song is too long tedious, dull, and grim. But God wants us to sing and work so for that you can thank Him.
Okay. Anyways, that's the current state of it. I think it's probably close to done, but I've got like this little warning, I guess, that to myself to stop listening to it and come back to it in a few days, something like that. Listen to it again and be ready to make a few more changes to it. But I think it's good. It doesn't have to be like a beautiful sounding song, because that's not its purpose in the game. It's supposed to be kind of slightly bad. But it's not supposed to be a song you'd want to hear over and over again. It's supposed to kind of fill you with a dread and annoyance at the song. So I think it could work for that. But I'll listen to it again. I'm going to wrap up the stream. Been on for a few hours here, and I think that's good for now. Kind of slightly bad. That's fine. That's fine. So yeah, thanks for contributing the parts, Zadaris, and for hanging out here. I'll catch you later.